Yeah, I mean, it's definitely tough to lose a player like Jeff, the leader that he is of this team and just the energy and the grit that he plays with. But it's always a next man mentality. We got to move on and just keep playing ball.
First half, you guys looked pretty good. You guys were flying around out there a little bit. Why do you think you weren't able to maintain that in the second half?
I'm not quite sure. Um, I thought we, kind of came out and played well in the first half, like you said. It kind of got away with us, a play or two here or there, and like I said, the game can change so quickly from just one or two plays, and I think that's kind of what happened.
May, obviously a big guy, but pretty mobile. Hurt you guys with a couple of runs today. How tough was that?
Yeah, definitely. Kind of had to do a little bit better job of keeping him in the pocket. He was able to kind of get out and make a few plays sometimes, so that definitely kind of played a factor. Him being able to extend the drives.
Anything different with Coach McCoy running the show today as opposed to Coach Callahan, or did it feel the same?
I mean, it felt similar, but there is some things that internally that we'll kind of keep that he's kind of changed up or just emphasized, but nothing too crazy of a difference.
So I'm curious, is this like the toughest stretch of football you've been through in your brief career?
Probably since high school, my sophomore year in high school. I think my team started off like 1-8. So that was probably like the last time, or really any time I've kind of ever been through something like this. Obviously last year, I was a part of that last year. I was, hurt most of the year, but kind of playing, it feels a little bit different this year, but definitely a tough stretch.
Having been through a couple of tough stretches like that before, is there something you could pull to spin forward to this and keep yourself going other than what motivates you already?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just building, just keep improving and building. It might not be our time right now or this year, but we just got to find ways to keep getting better, keep stacking, and our time will come, and it feels a lot better when you stay through the you work through together, and then you finally come out on top at the end. It's going to feel a lot better. So we just going to keep working. We gonna keep getting better, and we're going to find a way.
Along those lines, McCoy has really stressed that you guys stay together throughout this. How important is that going to be?
Yeah, it's very important. It's very important. We start turning on each other, quitting on each other, worrying about ourselves and different things like that. It's only going to make the season worse. So if we stick together, come together as a team, keep fighting as one, it's going to make things better, and it's going to give us a better, chance to get the outcome we want.
Thanks,
maybe the energy, maybe early on, and maybe why you guys maybe weren't able to kind of sustain the success that you had early.
Like I said, I thought we had, pretty good energy early on in the game. Thought we kind of came out pretty well. I felt like there was just kind of a play or two in there before the half, after the half, that really kind of flipped the game. I've kind of said this in interviews before. We have got to find a way to survive these surges or come back with our own surge, ourselves. So that's one of the things that we definitely have to do better as a team.
Just execution. We had a good week of preparation, and I think offensively we were able to do some really good things in the first half. I think the second half, I made a critical error on a block that cost us, and I think just things like that, right? Like to win games that we want to going forward. We need to do those things. It starts with me.
You feel like you were more involved in the offense this week with Coach McCoy taking over?
I mean, I wouldn't say necessarily. I think that the coaches have been doing a great job of working me, and I think that things just kind of clicked today, and put a lot of work in with Cam and the rest of the guys, and it was nice to see some success. But at the same time, we want to win games.
You mentioned putting in a lot of work with Cam, that 38-yard touchdown, a deep crosser. Is that something you guys have worked on a lot in camp up to now, or how did that come of it?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just the reps we put in, right? Obviously ran it throughout camp and the season, and then also just watching film, putting in time, being able to see things the way he sees things, and it was really nice to connect on that.
And what are you going to do when you see the game ball back there? What are you going to do with that?
I'm going to take it home. I had 2 call it back, so it's nice to get to keep this one.
Third one's a charm, right?
Yeah, my mom told me that. So.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask Jim. Were you kind of looking around, like making sure that one didn't go back for any weird reason? No flags. It feel good to finally get in there.
Yeah, a little bit. I was a little nervous about it, but O-line did a really great job protecting on that play. Cam obviously threw a great ball, and it was nice to get in the end zone.
Cedric was telling us that he thinks it'll be that much more fulfilling to come out on the other side, having gone through the difficult stuff you guys are going through now. How do you view that, in the moment coming off this game?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, the belief's still there within the group, and, anytime you go through adversity in life, and, we faced some adversity early in the season, it definitely feels good when you're able to come out the other side. So it's important we get back to work this week, have a great week of preparation, and then go play a great game Sunday.
Almost 21 points win. That put us behind, and then we were in a hole, and now we're not running the ball in play action. Now we have to drop back to try to get back into it, and I think that's, those one or two plays that are really, really detrimental, I think that's all it was.
Was that early rhythm born out of something maybe a little bit changed this week with all the changes, or was it born out of just consistency of what you'd already been working on?
I think consistency. I don't think we reinvented the wheel or anything. Just felt like those were relatively simple plays we've run running since training camp. Just felt like the execution was really well, and the play calls kind of complemented each other. So I think no big changes, just doing what we've done and executing a plan.
Did anything feel different this week with all the changes?
Not particularly. I think we try to just keep things a little bit simple, just given the turnover, especially with our staff. So nothing drastic, nothing wild, but honestly, just like keeping things simple and trying to execute the best we could. And I felt like that paid off at the beginning, and then got away from us.
Peter, obviously the frustration is there. How are you personally stomaching this one, with the way things have gone?
Every game's a new game. Every game's a chance to win, and for my, personally, I feel like every time you go out there against, great competition, especially like we did today, you have a chance to prove yourself and put your resume on tape. And we're going to try to get as many wins as we can and try to do the best I can to play left guard for this team. And so it's a new process every week, and just have to take it one week at a time.